welcome back. So this is video 4 of how to create a budget with tMoney Budget. The first video we covered how to add all of your different vaults in here. The second video we covered how to add all of your different credit cards in here. The third video we covered how to add your different income sources. Now this fourth video, this is what you have been waiting for. Now we're going to explore the different ways that you can add expenses into your budget with tMoney. Okay, now there's multiple ways that you can do this, so I'm probably going to break this video up into a couple of different videos just to allow myself to explore all of the different nuances. So we're going to explore all of the different features pertaining to adding expenses into your budget. All right. Okay, so there's a couple of different ways that you can add a budget item into your budget. All right. There's a couple of pre-populated lists as you see here, right? And these are just ways to kind of jumpstart your budget, right? I recommend just going through each of these and just adding the expenses as you see them appear in the populated list, just to kind of get you jump started, right? And go through each of these different sections. So even though it says common, yearly, and infrequent, they're more so segmented off based off of the calculation method. So let's go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. So the first one we're going to add is going to be rent. So after selecting the expense, what you're going to do first is you're going to categorize this expense. All right. So in tMoney, there's 4 different expense prioritizations. You have your mandatory expenses, you have your proactive expenses, you have your optional expenses, and you have your temporary expenses. This is a way easier way of categorizing your expenses as opposed to using like random formulas and just overcomplicating the process of making a budget. Next, we have the cost breakdown. As you see, there's 2 costs that you could put up in here. And I'm sure you're wondering, like, hey man, why is there 2 costs when I only pay 1 cost every month? Glad you asked. Now, this strategy comes from my background as a mortgage counselor, as I was helping people prepare for not only getting their finances together in the present, but also preparing for the next move, right? Which in my position was home ownership, but I felt that this could be something that could be used as people consider moving away from their current home, right? So you may be in an apartment and you are looking to move into a new apartment across town that may be more or less than you're currently paying in rent. Okay, so by having both of these costs, your current and your future costs, built into each expense, is going to help you prepare to not only get your money straight in the now, in the present, but also as you start preparing for your next move. So for this expense, we're going to skip the debt section because rent is not a debt, it's an expense. But don't worry, we're going to come back and fill this out with a different expense that's more appropriate. So for now, we're going to go straight down to the bill information because this is a bill, right? This is something that has a monthly due date. So we're going to put that in. And now I don't know about you, but rent is definitely something that I will be including in my emergency fund. So we're going to go ahead and check off that checkbox right there. Now, whenever you add something into your emergency fund, you also have to designate a particular vault that you're going to be saving this money in. Now, for this particular expense, we're going to skip the situation toggle and the payment method, right? Unless you actually have a credit card that you can use to pay your rent. Like, for example, the Built MasterCard is one of those particular credit cards, or you may have a landlord that uses Appfolio or Rent Cafe, where they allow you to pay for your rent with your credit cards. If that's the case, then by all means, select a particular credit card that you will use for this, and we're going to use that information over in the credit card section to calculate your rewards. But if not, go ahead and skip this. If you just use a normal debit card or if you use Cash App or whatever the case is, don't sweat for this particular expense because this is just rent. We're going to have plenty of opportunities to use all of these different features with other expenses. All right, boom. So we got an expense in. You see, we got income, we got some expenses in here. And now you see in our mandatory categorization, we have rent popping up. And you see how this future home expenses toggle work. It was able to toggle between current and your future home. And you see how your budget is being affected by these variations in expenses. And then, as you can see, we're going to go down here. We're going to check out the emergency fund because remember, we indicated that this is something that we want to save up in our emergency fund. And you see the vault that we have selected. It shows 3 months of our current rent. And we're going to explore the emergency fund feature in a lot more detail. It's kind of difficult to visualize it with just one expense. So we're going to come back to the emergency fund feature a little later.